Can't finish 12-6.
Ready? I'm good.
Yeah, finally fired. That's nice. Jim, what are you doing in the summer, podcast-wise?
Wherever you guys want to put me, I'll do it.
It's not up to
You
me.
want me
It's not
to?
up to me.
No, it's not done yet, but it's like 5,000 words.
Good evening and welcome to the Div 1 Winter Final here, the last game of the night as we have not what we thought would have been a Finance versus D-Boys final, but it is a DK versus Gotskills final here.
Why are we giving this so much attention? Can we not talk about the teams that are currently on the field?
We are, from this point onwards. GM Clarethris,
From this
not
point
Matt
forward.
Kirak, but Vince Nardone, as we are here for a 3 versus 4 seed as Gotskills, DK, both here. Guys, I'll start with you, GM. Your thoughts on this football game. Who do you give the edge to at quarterback in this scenario? Roshti or Nick Shintomo?
It's really funny that throughout this season, everyone's biggest knock on DK was the fact that Roshdi Ben Abdelkader is not a Division I quarterback and will ultimately be the downfall of this team. And especially throughout these playoffs, Roshdi's actually been a force to be reckoned with on the field. 10 touchdowns, no interceptions, boasting a quarterback rating of 135, which isn't even close to anyone else. So while you would tend to say on paper that Shentomo is the best quarterback, you've got to give it to Roshdi right now. He's earned it in the postseason.
Vince, we look at the defenses for Gotskills and DK. Both have come up big in the playoffs and late in the regular season. Who gets the edge in this matchup?
They both have incredible DBs, good defenses all around, but I would give the edge to Gotskills on this one. I feel like they're more balanced. They have more athletes at all positions. There are a couple weak spots in the DKD, although their strong spots are extremely strong. So, but I like to lean towards Gotskills on this one. I like the whole mix of Drapeau, Deschambault, everybody on that defense with the rush of Lagua, although Alex Pilon, or is it Alex Pilon who rushes?
Alex Pilon was the rusher for DK, yes.
It's like almost the equivalent. They're just speed rush, best in the league. But I'm leaning towards Gotskills on the defense side.
We are going to be mere moments away from starting this football game. The changing of the guard with two new teams in the Div 1 final, DK versus Gotskills. And DK will start off this football game on offense with Rashi Ben Abdelkader coming in at quarterback, who had 50 touchdowns, 13 INTs, and 2,200 yards passing this year. His snapper, Serge Pilon Jr., who was his go-to guy, had 48 catches and 581 yards and 15 TDs during the regular season. Run away. Ben Abdelkader looking right, waiting, going to Pilon. Great catch by Jr. He spins out of it, going upfield. Away he goes. Down the upfield, and he gets to 6 points. One play in, 6-0 lead for DK.
Serge Pilon just showed exactly how dangerous this DK offense can be if you give them those yards after completion.
So explosive, it's retarded. You don't want to be caught on the field having to chase down Pilon because you're not winning that race. I guarantee you that. When I sign up teams in FPF, I look at where the Pilons are playing, and if they're playing in a division, they're not going to be on my team. I don't want to be in that division because I never want to have to deal with them as a DB.
And you see the afterburners on Serge Pilon Jr. upfield to make it 6-0.
By the way, Serge is my snap in my fantasy.
Good to know.
So I'm down with that last play. I'm okay with that.
Extra point attempt for Ben Abdelkader looking left. Waits, going back in the end zone. Robbie Robinson out of bounds.
Why is Robbie wearing orange?
Robbie doesn't own any jerseys of the teams he's actually on, and I feel like that's just the closest he has.
But he's wearing orange, and they're wearing orange. I thought he threw a pick on that play.
Well, Robbie Robinson has white on that jersey.
Got
as well.
that catch in
No,
the
you
back of the
called
end
me
zone,
Matt.
unable to get his second foot in there.
I did call you Matt, but that's okay. Here's Nick Shintomo in at quarterback. His first drive, 40 touchdowns, 77 INTs this year. In fact, 6 times he was held between 40 to 45% passing completion, and he is sacked right away by Alex Pilon, who had 12 sacks during the regular season.
They ran the triple slants right. Nothing was there. Nothing was open on the slants, but the backside hook was wide open. He just didn't have time to come back and read it. Alex is way too fast at the rush.
Just having that sort of coverage there doesn't allow that play to develop any more than it would have. I think that Shentomo looked a little bit flustered there, and if it continues, it might be a long night for him.
2:30 into this first half, a good start for DK, offense and defense. Shintomo looking left. Caught incomplete, intended for Sebastian Deschamps. It'll be 3rd down and long for Gotskills.
Adi Sharma getting in there with the pass defended as well. again, that was that first look, wasn't there. Chintomo didn't really have anywhere else to go.
Speaking to Rashid Benalticator on Friday, he mentioned to me that Adi Sharma may call a lot of man-to-man 4-1 looks to really confuse Chintomo, who had success against them last time they played each other, in which they won the football game, 32-21.
If they're going to line up in man, they're going to have to change these matchups.
Sharma playing to the right of the defense. Chintomo looking, going over the middle, caught upfield, and that will be short of the first down. This time caught by Sam Drapeau, who had 8 catches for 115 yards and 4 TDs during the regular season.
Yeah, Sam Drapeau missed the game on Wednesday. He missed the semifinals. JC ended up playing a lot of defense, and he made big plays in that game.
Was he not at the Rihanna concert? Is that the reason why?
No, that was Blais.
Oh, Blais. Blais was at the Rihanna concert.
Blais missed the semifinals for Rihanna.
Riri was taking over the FPF. Big play coming up for Chintomo and Got Skills.
A little bit of conferring pre-snap with J.C. Mercil, the center there.
Approaching the 4-minute mark of this first half. Chintomo rolling to his right, looking, sideline pass, caught, that'll be enough for a first down. This time brought in by Eric Deschambault, who had 25 catches and a big first down for Got Skills.
That was tight. That was half a yard upfield from or north of the first down. It's a good throw, great catch.
Deschambault 4 times. He had 4 or more receptions. And in fact, during the regular season, he had 5 games of 50 yards or more. Chintomo has Drapeau to his left slot. Deschambault, the right slot. High snap, bobble. Can he get around? No, he won't. And another sack this time for Alex Pilon. That's 2 sacks on the opening drive.
Those are big. You can't keep giving up those yards. You're going backwards. You need to be going forward.
And Jim, I'll ask you this question. Could the inexperience of Got Skills be a factor right now, given that you look at DK's roster from top to bottom, these guys have all played in high division title games, have won a few rings on their fingers?
I don't think that that's necessarily the case, because so have LMC. They have that Division II championship. They played strongly in Division III as well. They won the last time these two teams met. So I don't think that this is necessarily the case for them.
Chintomo got sacked twice so far. Pilon with the rush. Great catch, incomplete, as Sebastian Deschamps cannot corral that football in with his left shoulder, and it's going to be 3rd down coming up for Got Skills.
You mentioned those sacks so far. In the last time these two teams played each other, Alex Pilon and Sam Laguerre both combined for 7 sacks. Laguerre with 3 and Alex Pilon with 4 the first time these two teams met. So I feel like the rusher is going to be a huge part on both sides of this, both teams for this game.
Approaching 5:30 into this first half. 6-point lead for DK.
That was a huge drop. You can't drop these balls in the playoffs.
Chintomo looking left. Caught upfield, and Adi Sharma with the tackle, this time on Sam Drapeau, his first catch of the evening. But now they're in a 4th down again. Can they convert for the second time on this drive?
I guess the question now, especially for you, Vince, because I know you know how this team works and operates a lot, is Chintomo going to go to that check down of J.C. Mercil, or is he going to go outside the box here? Because that is sort of his comfort zone.
I see him taking a shot. If it's available, he'll probably send JC towards the end zone and have a lot of checkdowns underneath it, but exactly that.
Going to the right corner of the end zone, incomplete, intended for J.C. Mercil, and a turnover, and now DK has the hammer in their hands, could go up by 2 scores, up by 6.
So that's what I was trying to say. That's often what he'll go to because he's comfortable with it, sending JC deep and having the check down underneath, because either JC will open up in behind all those those guys who will hook on the first down, or somebody's going to bite on JC and open up one of those hooks. So ultimately, he just made the wrong read there. He threw it to JC, and that was not open at all.
Chintomo also having words with official Jason Leclerc, wondering if there's a little bit of contact on that play from Alex Pilon.
There was, but he needs to stay composed. It wasn't called. Let's move on.
Approaching 7 minutes into this first half. The DK offense produced 51 TDs this year. Benalticator going deep. He's got a man open. Great play by Got Skills. This time by number 17 in Simon Prevanche, who had 2 PDs during the regular season.
We saw that develop, and it didn't look like it was a window that was going to stay open for a long time. He got lucky that he didn't pick that ball off.
Robbie was open on that hook on the outside, and it looked almost like Rashdi was going to look off Alex Pilon on that play, but he ended up thinking he saw something that he liked and went to it, but that hook was there. Robbie also excellently filling out that 15 penny over there.
Oh, there you go. You got changed.
Benaltigator looking right, going down the sidelines. Great play by Deschamps, intended for Pat Chenard, and it'll be third down coming up for DK.
I think that was a chair route from Pat from the slot position. Very well defended by Deschamps.
Chenard this year had 5 games with 3 receptions or more. Had a 2 TD game as well this season. It'll be third down coming up for DK. In control of this game
The
so
officials
far.
in front of us on the bench heckling the officials on field.
Jason Leclerc, the head official for this game. Benaltigator stepping up, going over the middle, caught by Pilo, and that will be enough for a first down. He backs his way upfield and finally brought down this time by
Derek Deschamps.
Deschamps, my apologies. Thank you, GM. And it'll be a first down, and they'll move those sticks.
Never stopped his feet. My mic is out.
I think that it just goes to show, especially in a game like this, you really have to play that whistle, that no tackle is a given even in Division 1.
My mistake. My mic is good. It's my headphones that don't work.
So Vince is back with us.
Vince never left.
I never left.
Physically, he never left. First and goal, or first and 10 now for DK. Rolling to his right, Benaltigator going to the end zone. Caught!
Oh my.
Touchdown, Chenard. 12-0 for DK.
That got so confusing. Everybody was in a bunch, and then he just, I feel like that's not what he was trying to do, but it ended up being a touchdown.
It looked like triple slants at first glance, but Chenard sort of ended up behind the slants rather than running that fly.
And guys, we talk about Got Skills. They got off to a slow start against the Finest early on Wednesday night, but they came back. Can they get those stops? That's going to be required now to be able to tie this game up in this first half.
The difference is in this game and between now and then is that they were never down 2 scores against Finest, and now they are.
And now for Jacques Voigt, he gets that extra point, 13-0 for DK. And you can see Rashid Benaltigator really ecstatic with
And
this start.
I was just going to comment on that. You can see already, we're only a few minutes in, and you can already see the difference in body language between the DK team and Got Skills, who are already starting to slump their heads, and that's not a good sign, especially so early in this game.
And we know how easily Nick Chantomo could get frustrated if calls or plays don't go his way by the expression of his body. First and 10, third drive coming up for Chantomo. Looking left, caught, out of bounds it goes. This time caught by number 7 in Davis Chantomo, his first catch of the evening.
I think when all else fails, that's going to be someone whose name we're going to be hearing a lot, sort of having that brother-to-brother connection. And especially with Got Skills coming from behind and being flustered right now, Chantomo is going to be passing to his brother more often than not.
And he has 4 TDs in the last 4 games. Quick snap, looking over the middle. Through the hands, incomplete. Matt Bond would have had his interception, but that went right through his hands. Intended for number 1 in Sam Drapeau. It will be third and short coming up.
I would like to see the replay for that because it looked like Alex Pilon at rush did manage to get a hand on it. Let's see if we can get that replay in here right now.
And here is the replay. And that
Oh,
may have been
no.
tipped. No, it wasn't. But Matt Bond knew he had a pick 6.
That's a
right in
catch
his
you've
hands.
got to make. Oh my God, what are those?
Hot dogs are popular today.
Third and short for Got Skills. Snap. Tomo going short, caught by Marcel. That'll be enough for a first down spin move and brought down by Pat Chenard, but they keep that drive alive.
I'm honestly surprised. Like, we saw him on that corner that was just overthrown earlier on, but I'm surprised that it's 13-0, and only now are we hearing Marcel's name on the receiving side.
And we talk about JC Marcel. Look at this photo. Looks like a wrestler from WCW. Had a 100-yard game versus Montreal's Finest
He's on that sauce.
Wednesday. 4 TDs in the playoffs this year. In fact, 11 TDs in the last 7 games when you factor in the regular season.
JC has been nothing short of a beast in the playoffs. He's been big for his team defensively and offensively. He'll eventually...
Wide open. Is that
out
in?
of bounds.
Incomplete. As this time, though, Eric Deschambault could not get both feet in. We'll get a replay on that, and we'll see from our vantage point.
You see that sort of takeoff speed right away. You see Deschambault just like lightning quick flying under the DK radar with that post.
A nice move. And he got none of the feet in. In fact,
No.
the left landed out of bounds before the right touched grass.
He didn't seem very aware where he was on the field, and that's unfortunate.
So potentially lost points if Godskills can't get into the end zone. They could still get a first down here as we're approaching 13-minute mark of this first half. Going to the right end zone, incomplete, intended for David Shantomo, and now it's third down for Godskills.
That's a play that they love running, Chantomo to Chantomo on that deep out in the end zone. They do that a lot when they go for two, or they do that a lot when they're fourth down and they're looking for a score. It's not the last time we're going to see that route.
Less than 9 to go in this first half. It's been all DK up 13-0. Alex Pilon, Serge Pilon have been the tour de force for the DK offense and defense so far this evening. Base formation for Godskills. Deschambault, the right slot. Shantomo, the right wideout. Rolling to his left is Nick Shantomo. Quick pass, incomplete, and that went one way, intended for Simon Provencher. And it's now fourth down, a pivotal moment for Godskills, and trying to keep this drive alive.
That throw was a little bit off target as well, but it looked like had it been on target, Pat Chenard was right there waiting to punish Shantomo with an interception. So it may have been better off that he sort of underthrew Provencher there.
Who is the go-to guys right now that you're going to call upon on this fourth down, guys?
I've said Mercil like 5 times earlier on in this podcast, so I'm going to shy away from that.
Look for Eric on a double move from that slot.
When you factor in that 4 receivers have caught 16 passes or more, Shantomo avoids the rush, steps up, back in the end zone, and that will not count either way because
Again, that's awful.
Drapeau went out of bounds first, and a huge turnover in favor for DK, up by 2 scores, going the other way.
That's a serious brain fart. You can't be doing things like that. He never stayed in bounds. He went 2 yards out of bounds and sat there like.
And here's a replay, guys.
Watch him go straight out of bounds and turn. Look at that.
Zero field awareness.
Oh my God. It happened to me a long time ago where you think the white line is the out of bounds, but you got to know better than that now. This is Division 1.
We should have put those orange saucers in the back end zone like I always do here on Field 3. Just food for thought. Back to live action. Van Abdicator now up by 13. Looking left. Waits. Pumps.
Alex.
Open. Robbie Robinson. And he will have enough for a first down.
Great tackle
Yes.
by Eric Deschambault, though.
Alex Pilon was wide open on that. It looked like a slant out and up.
It may be early to call it, but I feel like that fourth down turnover is going to be one of the things that we're going to come back to later on as this game progresses and saying, what if Godskills had scored on that play? Because I think that right now this game is spiraling out of control very quickly.
It's crazy.
6:30 left in this first half. It has been all DK controlling this football game. Now on the cusp of maybe going up by 19 or more points. The snap. Looking to the right, Van Abdicator. Going sidelines, dangerous pass, incomplete. Arsenal makes 2 catches, and that will count, and that will be a 7-yard gain, and he was brought down just at the sidelines.
Managed to corral that in. Robbie Robinson running a straight fly past Eric Deschambault, had his hand up for the entire part of that route. I think Robbie's going to go back to that huddle and no doubt tell Roshdi he was open.
In fact, Nick Armstrong only twice this year, he was held to less than 40 yards receiving in both playoffs and regular season, which is a remarkable stat to look at for what he's done in Div 1 and Div 2 this year. Second and short for DK. 4:30 and change left in this first half. Going right, called by Pilon, upfield, spin move, touchdown!
Yes, Serge.
Gorgeous play by Serge Pilon Jr. It's now 19-0, and Godskills looks shell-shocked.
He makes such an innocent play, it's a killer. He caught a 3-yard out and he puts it in the end zone. Nobody can tackle.
If you cannot tackle the DK receivers, you're going to be in for a long night. We mentioned it earlier that they will punish you for this, and it's showing right away.
It feels like Godskills aren't moving their feet on the field. It's like they're in cement right now trying to catch up to DK's offense.
It definitely feels like they had their front 2 tires slashed, and right now they're running on the rear end, but they gotta just pretend like it's 0-0. I mean, I've been in this situation, so has GM. We've been in this situation together where you just gotta pretend like the game is starting and it's 0-0.
And an easy convert, it's 20-0. DK in full control late in the first half with about 4:40 left.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. So at this point, it can't get much worse. You just gotta go back to basic, go back to the things that work, and then just drive.
Now the question is that do you try and get a rhythm on offense and sort of march upfield, or do you go for the shot right now, knowing that it may or may not be there?
Well, who's going to be the stretch guy right now? Deschambault or Drapeau or Shintomo? They got to get something going for them.
It's got to be Drapeau, who's been one of the bigger contributors here for God Skills, unless he sends JC Mersildi.
Less than 4 minutes left in this first half. Shintomo going across by caught, and that's going to be for a 4-yard gain from Sam Drapeau. And right now, they have to move that ball quickly enough to get some points before the half is done.
Good clean tackle by Nick there. There's a drag route underneath. He's usually the one who was running all the drag routes with Chernobyl, so he's very well aware of that. So he's just sat there, tackled him nice and clean, 5 yards. Go ahead. That's what you're going to give up if you're DK right now.
If one thing is positive for God Skills, he had 8 players who caught a touchdown pass this year. Rolling to his right. Shintomo going cross by, caught by Dave Shintomo. Upfield he goes, first down and more, with about 3:30 left in this first half.
That was a really, really dangerous looking crossbody throw. That being said, if anyone's going to successfully complete a crossbody throw in the finals, it will probably be Shintomo. I don't know how often that'll be there if he goes back to that again, though. I feel like Matt Bond was sitting there waiting, was just half step behind.
And right now, they can feel that there is blood in the water as DK looking to finish off this game late in the first half. Can they hold serve and keep them at donuts?
Well, I believe God Skills is going to start the second half with the ball, right?
Going into the right corner, open over the head of Shintomo and JC Mersil out of bounds.
2 receivers there, wide open. He can't make the throw.
If this was a CFL end zone, that could have been 6 points. So 29th lead here, guys, with very little time left in this first half. I mean, they have to get something here. Who's the go-to on this next play for God Skills?
The go-to right now is Nick Shintomo. If he doesn't find a rhythm, no one else on this offense can flourish. And we can mention JC Mersil, we can mention Sam Drapeau, we can name everyone playing receiver right now. But if the quarterback can't get them the ball, it's for nothing.
Here's Mersil. Tries to go around Schnard, and that'll be a 3-yard gain. Are you guys surprised by Nick Shintomo's start to this game? Down 20, he looks very frenetic right now.
Look, it's no surprise to anyone that DK game plan to a T, especially having already played God Skills coming into this game, more familiar with them. I think that right now they've devised the perfect strategy to sort of rattle him and get him off his game.
Rajdi probably hasn't slept in since Wednesday, since they won. He probably didn't sleep at all, just game planning, coming up with plays, defensive plays to stop this offense.
Step it up for the run. Touchdown.
GM called it. Nick is the go-to. He's the one who's going to have to step up, and he just did that big time there.
With less than 2 minutes left, it's 20-6. God Skills gets a much-needed touchdown from Nick Shintomo on a 6-yard run. Now can they convert on the extra point attempt before half?
I guess the question here right now is that are they more comfortable going for 1 or going for 2? They've been fairly successful going for 2 in the regular season, and we see here they're even setting up for 2 right now.
Yeah, they like that play where they have the Shintomo's brother drop back and do a double QB option.
Yeah, the last time these two teams did meet, Dave Shintomo not only had a receiving touchdown but a passing one as well. So that's something that we should.
You know what? I think the stats were wrong because I score kept that, and David had more touchdowns thrown than his brother in that game. I think they were just not put into the stats. He had 2 touchdowns in that game throwing.
And that is incomplete. It will remain a 14-point lead for DK, and they'll have about 30 seconds before 5 plays. So they'll have 6 plays more or less with the first half to go.
Looks like Rashi is also calling a hurry-up offense right now. He has those receivers ready. The bags aren't even set yet. They're ready to go.
Gratziel's going to have to step up here. You cannot let them score before the half.
Benaldicator.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding?
A great read this time from Provencher.
Yeah, Simon Provencher read that beautifully, jumped that route, and was ready for it.
Why did he throw that ball? That was never there.
And you can see Benaldicator really upset at himself for throwing that ball. It was literally with 3 orange shirts around 1 gray shirt.
Here it is on the replay.
And we look at it, looking left. And a great read from Provencher. 3 orange shirts.
He crashed that hard.
If Provencher doesn't get it, Eric does. I mean, there's no
JC
gray there.
Mersil does, right? It's. And now here is Nick Shintomo back in business. Can they score? 5 plays left. Quick pass. Mersil upfield, tackled by Matt Bond for a 3-yard gain.
This would be a huge turn of event. Rajdi's gonna want it. He's gonna want that one back. That was awful.
DK now holding on for dear life with 4 plays left, up by 14. They don't want to give any more points to God Skills and momentum going into halftime.
They're conferring right now. I'm sure that every discussion in this huddle is just touchdown. Like, do you chop up the field here, Vince, or do you go for it right now?
How many plays are left?
4 plays.
There's 4 plays. I want to use at least 2 of those 4 plays.
And they can still get a first down from the marker right now inside the red zone.
Yeah, if I could, I'd try to get a first. I wouldn't be trying to get a touchdown. That's perfect.
Open!
That's perfect.
And just brought down before
That's exactly
the
what I would
goal
have
line.
done. First down. Now you got 3 plays to score.
Drapeau with the catch, brought down by Pilon. Now this is where Addy Sharma's defense could get very tough on the Godskills offense.
Yeah, Godskills offense are in the red zone now. Chantomo is still without a passing touchdown. Remember that he ran that last one in, so he still has to find an open receiver in the end zone.
Big rush coming up from Alex Pilon.
Watch for the same play, but swapped.
Flipped. With Deschambault running that drag.
Rolling left,
JC.
looking open through the hands, incomplete to Provencher. And there's now 2
JC's
plays
open
left.
underneath there. He's not. I feel like he's a little bit rattled with the reads. It's a Christmas party for the refs.
Christmas in April.
There's more refs here than players.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's an entertaining thing, to say the least.
Right now it is.
The fun and drinks are flowing right now with the officials.
Pivotal moment coming up here for Godskills. They are a football length away from punching this in for 6 points. Chantomo, the snap. Sets up, looking, going over the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Deschambault, 20-12 for DK.
Almost ran out of end zone there again, too. Just
Yeah.
managed to keep his feet in.
He didn't make the same mistake twice. There he was very aware where the line was. Eric is also on my fantasy squad.
And right now, your fantasy squad is looking pretty good. And we see the replay, Deschambault wide open. No one saw him in the back of the end zone.
Asking for the ball.
It looked like Arsenault Hum had to leave that off because of the drag that was coming from the other side of the field, and no one really picked up that post.
Had to make a decision on who to take.
Yeah,
at that
JC
point.
also created a bit of a pick there on that middle defender. It was a good play call.
A turn of events for DK and Godskills. Back in the end zone. Great catch from Chantomo. 20-13. We have a ball game.
There's that play that Vince was mentioning earlier, having his brother on that
Yeah.
deep out on the convert.
2013. And guys, 2 minutes ago, it was a 20-0 lead for DK. Now they're only up by 7, and momentum, it appears, has gone back to the team in orange.
Yeah, and knowing Rajdi right now this is important for him because his confidence is shaky, and he cannot continue playing this game if he's not confident himself.
And now Godskills playing for the end zone. Jacques Voigt in the game for the first time.
Definitely not the first time we see Jacques Voigt.
And now he gets the ball up in his hands upfield. And so at the end of the first half, 20-13 for DK over Godskills. Guys, what adjustments does DK have to do now to preserve their lead and get back to what made them really good in the first 18 minutes or so of this first half?
I find it really entertaining that 5 minutes ago we were discussing what Godskills have to do to sort of wake up and make this game more competitive, and now the balance has totally shifted, and we have to discuss what DK have to do to sort of stay in this game mentally.
I wouldn't change anything if I'm DK. They did way more than enough in the first half to give themselves the lead. They're still winning this game 20-13. They're one turnaround, or they're one stop and a score away from being up 2 scores, which ultimately in the second half would be the best position possible. So I don't think they have anything to change. It's Godskills has finally put the ball in the end zone, and they got the turnover, so they reduced they went from 20-0 to 20-13. That's what they needed to do. They got it done.
If there's one thing to look for history being on their side for Godskills, when games are decided by 7 points or less, they're 4-2-1. And right now it's a 7-point lead for DK. So maybe it's in their favor moving to the second half.
If you want to discuss history with the historian, DK are also undefeated in the finals.
Oh,
That is true. Let me look up some more history stats over here. Anyway, at halftime, though, when you look at DK.
last time DK was in the finals was Division 2.
Yeah.
And I won that shit.
Last time Godskills, who were formerly LMC, were in the finals, was
True.
Division 2 as well.
Well, at halftime, when leading, DK's 5-0 this year. God Scales, when they're trailing at halftime, they're 2-4. So that's against them when it comes down to it.
Right now, they sort of all seem to be conferring together. DK trying to figure out what's going on. Rashi joking around with Matt Kerouac. I think right now it's just business as usual, and we're talking about the balance shifting. Got Skills still have to either make this game a little bit closer, score, tie it up, take the lead. DK are still in the driver's seat.
Yeah, they are. That's what I was trying to say, that they don't have anything to change. They just need to not turn the ball over, which is something that you don't want to do anyways. It's not a change you need to make. It's just continue to play your game, and you can't have those turnovers. That was a bad pick Rajdi threw. He's very well aware of that, and he's not going to do it again.
22 minutes and 5 plays away from finding out who will be the Div 1 king for the winter season. Will it be God Scales or DK? And right now, God Scales could march down the field and maybe tie this game up at 20.
Or take the lead with the
Or
two-point
two-pointer,
converts that
yeah.
they've been
You never
successful
know.
with.
We've seen things like that happen in this type of matchup. Shintomo looks much more poised than before. The snap, looking left, sets up, going to the left side, and is caught by Sebastian Deschamps, and that will be a 6-yard gain. Second down coming up.
Alex Pilon left that rush, either timed it almost perfectly or looked to have just crossed a little bit too early, but I think it was just how fast he takes off from that rushing bag.
There's also something we haven't mentioned, and it's only for DK in this case. They have 3 players on this team right now who just finished playing a game, so this might play a role at the end of this game.
Fatigue, absolutely. Well said, Vince. Pilon with the rush. Incomplete, intended for J.C. Mercillo. Try to one-hand grab that football with his left paw. It will be third down coming up for God Scales.
I don't think that's necessarily a big problem, considering you have Jacques Void, Roshdi, and Rob Robinson waiting in the wings just in case. Granted, they're not the starting defense on this team, but they're D1 defenders all the same.
Now for God Scales, a third down coming up here. Can they convert for a first down? Deschambault, the right slot back. Shintomo, the right wideout. Drapeau, the left slot back. Looking right, waiting, good over the middle. Caught upfield, first down, more spin move. Upfield around Pilon and tackled by Nick Arcelon is Sam Drapeau. But right now, God Scales is cooking.
That drag from the left slot seems to be something that continuously works for God Skills against this DK defense, who are sort of playing 3 deep at the moment.
Because that's kind of the point of the play. You want to just give, it's an easy throw and catch, and you're hoping your receiver's going to go get the yak yards. And in this case, Drapeau has been able to get the yards after the catch over and over again. So it's a play that you got to continue going to until they adjust. And once they adjust to that drag, then everything over top that drag is going to open up.
DK, sure-handed tackling team. They had 4 players with 32-plus tackles, a missed tackle from Pilon. We'll see if that will come back to haunt them. Shintomo, pivot play. Lux going to the right corner, intended for David Shintomo, out of bounds. And one thing to look at, though, DK has had 2 pick sixes, and you wonder if maybe they're primed to make a big play like that on this drive.
Thus far, DK have been really strong. Pat Chenard has been leading the team, two INTs throughout the playoffs. I feel like, aside from having just played that game and still being a little bit raw from losing in Division 2, he's someone who will need to lead by example on this team.
And right now, as Jim called him out, Nick Shintomo is leading by example by getting this football team back in this matchup. Rolling to his left, waiting. He will not cock it up. Now he does. Tipped up by Eddie Sherman, picked up by Pat Chenard. A huge play for DK.
Can I gotta say it, Pat Chenard.
Addie Sharma had no INTs during the regular season, had 6 PDs, make it 7 PDs. A huge play. That could be a turning point in this matchup.
That was huge. That was an easy score. Great tip ball. Way to come down with that ball, Pat. That was key.
And Nick Shintomo going to the sidelines looks dejected on that, knowing very well he had an open touchdown but couldn't connect.
And he was able to beat the rush for once, and it just didn't work out.
Here's Ben Aldicator. Can he set up? Going down the sidelines, and that play was going to Nick Shintomo. And he had Pilon open down the sidelines.
Yeah,
but
both Pilons. On the quick out from Serge Pilon at the center position, and early on, that post from Alex Pilon was open, and then it just the window sort of closed on that.
And you wonder, guys, maybe Ben Aldicator's confidence is a bit rattled, given how the last 2 series has gone for him in this offense.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is rattled right now. He's shaky with the confidence. I don't know why. Rashdi's never had that much confidence in himself. He's very nervous.
And he is sacked. A big play and a big sack.
It's crazy. Ever since he threw that pick, it's like he's not able to connect on anything now.
Jacques Voigt coming back to the huddle, telling Rashdi to slow down, calm down, make his read, and just make that play.
Yeah, Jacques knows. He's been with Rashdi for a really long time, so he knows you kind of just gotta bring him back mentally, like
Founding members of Pair Nation.
exactly.
Lagor O'Connell with the sack, and right now that was a huge play. And guys, we'll see how Ben Aldicator can respond as he's 3 yards deep in his end zone. Big moment for DK's offense. Ben Aldicator looking right, going deep.
Bad throw, awful
And
throw.
if this was Duck Hunt, that was a wobbler.
Punt. Godskills gets the ball back. That's not what you wanted to do as on offense from DK. That turnover is now wasted. Not only did you not take any time off the clock, you just gave the ball back to Godskills.
Now can DK respond back with another big play? Right now, their offense has been held in park or even in reverse for this matter.
Yeah, Rashdi and Alex Pilon exchanging words as Rashdi left the field there. Definitely not something.
No, Alex
That
isn't
looks good
happy.
right
He's
now.
been wide open a lot this game, and Rashdi hasn't even thrown the ball his way. He's missing on routes going towards Jacques Voigt, kind of forcing the ball there. It was a post corner that was never there, but he threw the ball anyways.
We're about 5:30 into this second half. Deep ball, open, Deschambeau, quick move, touchdown.
It's definitely a touchdown.
Yeah. Hod signaled that just perfectly. Serge Pilon had that tackle, but Deschambeau was already in the end zone after making
Great.
that shake and bake juke.
Yeah, great step back move there. Love it for my fantasy.
1 point lead for DK. And here's the replay. Deschambeau with a wheel route and wide open by Miles and a quick move on Pilon, and he walks in with ease to make it a 20-19 lead.
Now, with Rashdi's confidence sort of shaky at this moment, do you start to lean more on Robbie Robinson and Pat Chenard as sort of those halfback options, or do you continue with Rashdi right now as the tide starts to turn?
I think you don't have a choice but to live and die by the sword.
Through the hands, incomplete.
You got to make that throw. You have to make that throw.
DK started off the game with a 20-0 run. Now Godskills has scored 19 unanswered points.
Vince called it perfectly. You really have to approach it going in, pretend the score is 0-0 and just sort of casually march back, and that's what Godskills have done up until this point.
Yeah.
The never say die attitude of Godskills. Against Rainmakers, they were down at 1 point, came back and won that football game. And finally, they held on and beat the defending champions. Now here they are down by 1. Quick pass, Pilon, spin move, and he's brought down right away, this time by number 17, Provencher. It will be 2nd and 4 coming up.
Alex looks pissed off. I don't know what he's pissed off about, but he doesn't look very happy right now.
Maybe he didn't have any water.
Not able to get those yards after completion
H2O, a
as
lack
well.
of H2O, Mo? Is that why he's pissed off?
Potentially. You never know. 7:25 into the second half.
I'm liking the matchup on the right side, though, with Jacques Voigt and Pat Chenard against Seb Deschamps and Sam Drapeau. That's something
Absolutely.
I'd try to exploit a little bit more here.
I'd definitely throw Voigt on a post and a double move from Pat on Deschamps.
Goes back left, caught by Pilon upfield. Real estate to work with, Pilon, and he's brought down right away by Shintomo. That will be enough for a first down, and they'll move those sticks.
I think Alex got in his ear. He got in Rashdi's ear and he told him, give me the damn ball. And Rashdi has done that twice in a row, and Alex has almost eaten up the entire field.
Alex Pilon had 38 catches during the regular season, 526 yards, and 9 TDs.
I remember playing a game when I played for DK in Division 3 where we played Loft, and Alex Pilon was in Rashdi's ear about not getting the ball enough, even though Rashdi had thrown 0 incompletions to that point. So I feel like that's just sort of a constant thing for Rashdi having to hear how open the Pilons are.
Quick pass, Pilon upfield. One joke move, touchdown. Now it's a 7-point lead, guys. Do you go for the 2-point convert to make this a 2-score lead?
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
There's about less than 14
Considering
minutes
scoring
left.
opportunities are so rare in this game right now, how they're having a little bit more trouble executing than they have. Yes, definitely go for that too. You have players who are able to kind of drop as halfbacks as well to create that sort of disparity. LaGuardia can only rush one at a time.
In fact, Alex Pilon had a 10-game TD streak snap last time they won over D-Boys, but now gets back on the right track. Quick pass and a great catch by Nick Arsalam, and that'll be good for the extra point.
So they're down 8 now with a lot of time left on the clock, but still, it's just they got to continue doing what they're doing, but they got to start connecting on the extra points. They've left a lot of points on the field that they should have had that are going to be key at the end of this game.
Unofficially, there's about 12 minutes and change left in this football game.
Tons of
plenty
time.
Looks like we're
left.
going to see a change at rush as well. Alex Pilon is now sitting Robbie Robinson in at rush.
And that could be a situation to keep fresher legs late in this football game.
Yeah, he's probably going to take 1 or 2 plays off, and then he'll be right
Shatomo
back.
avoids the rush from Robinson, wide open. Deschambeau, and he's brought down by Pilo, and that'll be enough for a first down, and he's limping
Yeah,
with his
Charlie-
right ankle.
I'm pretty sure you got knee right in the thigh. Charlie Horse.
As the officials in front of us continue to razz the officials on the field.
Unbelievable, these guys.
Jason Leclerc, Steve Hodhod, Walter Berry,
The refs have done a great
Omar
job
Clement.
so far.
Omar, yes, is there. My apologies, I lost Omar in the trail of jerseys. 4 officials, guys. It's worked out pretty well in this Div 1 final. Shintomo looking right, waits over the middle, caught by Dave Shintomo for about a 7-yard gain. It will be second down coming up.
Strong hands as Arsenault Hum tried to break up that pass, but Dave Chintomo managed to hold on there.
And right now the referees are acting like a WWE crowd at WrestleMania.
No, I feel like a WWE crowd at WrestleMania would be more sober than the officials we have in front of us right now.
Potentially. Very true, Gio. Shintomo looking right. Over the middle, tip Pilon with a great defensive play, and that could have been 6 points for
I
Godskills.
think if Alex doesn't tip that, not Chenard, but Nick has a pick on that play.
We'll see the
He
replay on
jumped-
that. If
he
we
jumped the drag.
They've been seeing that drag multiple times throughout this game, so it's only a matter of time
Yeah.
before going to that well comes up dry.
27-19 lead. We have surpassed the halfway point of this football game. Inside 11 minutes left. Godskills was down by 20, now down by 8. Can they respond back? Still could get the first down. Rolling to his left, Shitomo avoids it. Oh, he does not. Pilon gets the sack. 4th down coming up.
So Alex
Is fired up.
Yeah, he took a couple plays off. He's been key in the past, I'd say in the past 6 plays that he's been on the field, it's been all Alex.
And now a pivotal moment again in this football game.
I don't know how I would feel as a player having these refs getting rowdy like this if I'm playing in the game.
I think this is the most action that we've seen in a Div 1 final from the crowd in a while, so I have no complaints.
I think everybody's just happy to not have to watch Finest again.
It's been a fantastic Div 1 final. Shitomo. End zone. Caught by Deschamps. First down.
Great
And
grab.
now that prolongs the drive and gives them a new reprieve with the downs.
That's a
JC
huge
Marcel
catch.
coming back to that huddle, looking open in the back of the end zone a little bit as well.
He was held at the beginning of his route there. That's what he's talking to the ref about.
Approaching 9.5 minutes left in this second half. Marcel, the snapper, they are 2 yards away from getting 6 points. Rolling to his right, Shitomo, looking, waiting, plenty of time. Back over, flagging the play, Deschamps, pressured, and he
Oh
throws
my
that away.
God.
That will be intentional
There was
grounding,
already a flag
Not
on
a
the play,
smart play.
however.
and that could be huge.
Not at all a smart play by Seb there. I know he's not a quarterback and he's not used to being in that situation, and I've done it myself where you think it's a smarter play to get rid of the ball in intentional grounding instead of taking a sack, but not in that case it wasn't.
We may already see an overruling call from Jason Leclerc with that flag that was thrown just after the ball was snapped. Might have been obstruction on the rush. We may see that here right now.
And it will go against Scott Skills. Both against Scott Skills. And now Adi Sharma will look at what the better scenario is for the defense for DK. And we are approaching about 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in this second half.
This will also still be red zone for Got Skills as well.
So it will be no first down opportunity. Red zone, as Jim made the point before. And now, Shintomo looking right. Going to the right side. Almost picked off. This time, Cyrus Pilon Jr.
Just a
was
half step behind it there. I think it was a little bit too obvious that it was that Chintomo was going to go to his brother, and Cyrus Pilon was ready to make them pay for it.
And had he caught that ball, there's no way that Nick Shintomo would have caught him down the sideline.
Are you kidding? Nobody's catching up to Pino.
They could have teleported themselves into the end zone. They still wouldn't catch
He
him.
could have just not ran it and just turned around and be like, I would have scored, so I just didn't want to run.
8-point lead as we approach 7 minutes and change left in this second half. Looking right. Shintomo pumps. Caught upfield. And Matt Bond with a quick tackle, this time on number 1, Sam Drapeau. His 5th catch of the evening. And right now, Got Skills is knocking on the door once again.
Big 4th down here for Got Skills. They really need to connect.
Drapeau's going to have to be careful with that. He seems to tend to like to put his shoulders down and kind of dive forward. He can get called for a flag guard doing that.
For the game, potentially. Can Got Skills keep themselves alive, or will DK snatch it away from them? Fourth down.
This is a
coming
big
up.
4th down, yes.
The snap. Rolling to the right. Shintomo back in the end zone. Touchdown.
Deschamps.
Oh, my God. He's so key.
It looked like J.C. Mercil got really, really hurt on that play, too, grabbing that ankle.
And it appears it is J.C. Mercil who is down. Absolutely, GM. And they'll stop the clock momentarily here with about 6 minutes and change left. But Mercil is in agony.
Yeah, he looked like he got tripped up with the I think he tripped himself. I saw it, but I wasn't so sure when it happened. Love to see a replay, Eagle.
Conferring right now, we may
Here it
see
is, guys.
Simon Provencher come in at snap for him. No,
Yeah,
that's not
it
his
was
Slipped
on
to the turf.
himself.
What a great job by Deschamps getting both feet in the back of the end zone.
That is so clutch. So clutch.
6 minutes left. 2-point lead. Got Skills looking to tie this game up and potentially force overtime if they're able to hold serve with DK coming up on offense.
That would
next.
be nice. It would be nice to see overtime here tonight.
It would prolong our stay.
I'm okay with that.
I also do think that it would be in Got Skills' better interest to force an overtime because they may be more consistent.
Incomplete.
Oh, no way. After coming up with a huge score, oh no,
We'll see the
Deschamps
replay
got
on
2
that.
big time drops in this game. He's made a couple really good plays. He's also got a couple brain farts. That's
Deschamps
not
had
good.
his hands on that ball, but his body was going one way, and you can see from the replay he was so close from tying this game up at 27. Here we go again, guys.
If Got Skills don't come back to win this game, they're gonna blame themselves for this one because so many times Drapeau in the back of the end zone not being in bounds. Eric did it as well, and now Seb dropping that 2-pointer. They've given DK so many lifelines.
5:10 left. Can Banaltequera close it out? Void splits through and tackled by Deschamps. And now, guys, you wonder at what point does Got Skills use their timeouts to preserve clock for them to have a chance to maybe tie it up or even go ahead if they're able to hold on to this.
Simon Provencher right now trying to get under the skin of Roshdi, showing him how his hands are ready for the catch. That being said, we're seeing a lot of quick hitch hooks from the 2 slots, so from Alex Pilon and Jacques Void. We may see that again here while Roshdi tries to burn out the clock.
2-point lead. Banaltequera looking right. Sideline, called by Arsalam upfield, and that will be very close to a first down. It will be 3rd down coming up here. And it appears to be 3rd and a yard or so away from a first down.
If you're DK right now, Vince, do you sort of draw out the clock and hope you score on this drive, or go for it right now?
I mean, I would take the points because if you score and you get a point, you get 1 point on the convert. It's game over. You're up 2 scores. So I wouldn't hold back from scoring on any play, but I also won't force anything.
Inside 4 minutes remaining in this second half. Benaltiquer, quick pass, Pilon, first down or more, upfield, Pilon, great move and brought down by David Chantomo. However, it will keep the clock moving and move the sticks for the DK offense.
Great job by Serge Pilon making that snap and turning his head right away, knowing that there was no one around him and that hook was coming fast.
I have no idea how he does that with his hips, where his feet are nowhere close to his upper body, but he doesn't slow down. He's I have no idea how he does that. Physically speaking, no clue.
3:20 left in this second half. The Pilons playing the left slot back and snapper. Benaltiquer looking right, has Pilon open,
No
picked
way.
off. A huge pick from Drapeau, pardon me. And now you wonder if DK's confidence is now shot.
I don't understand. If we can see that, why can't Rajdi see that?
Here's a replay right now, guys.
It was not there at all. Drapeau's dropping.
And Nick Arcelem, you can see he had his arms out asking
Oh,
what was that throw
Lord.
coming from. Now with 3 minutes left, guys, does DK use their timeouts to preserve time? Up by 2.
Rajdi. Raj is going to be so pissed. So pissed. He's made 2 really bad throws in this game, and it's going to cost them big time if they score here.
Clock is running as we approach. Now they will call a timeout officially. So with about 2 minutes and change left in this football game, DK has to come up with a turnover. Right now, Godskills +1 in the turnover department ratio against DK. What a story this would be if Godskills, a Div 2 team last year, ends up winning Div 1.
Oh.
Chantomo, open, upfield, Provencher, spin move. Sharma with the tackle, first down and more. And now Godskills is cooking inside DK territory.
It looked like Alex Pilon deviated from his rush a little bit to try and limit that quick pass to JC Marcel, but in that time allowed Nick Chantomo enough time to find the open man a little bit more downfield.
Early in the game, Alex was winning that one-on-one against Chantomo, but lately Chantomo has been beating him with that hip, with making him miss and buying some more time and finding a receiver downfield, and that's huge. And by the way, Deschamps has been benched.
And now with a 25-7 run since late in the first half, can Godskills go up for the first time? Chantomo, pump fake, avoids a sack.
Again.
Steps up. He's going to run, and now brought down by Pilon for a 1-yard gain.
If that.
Inside 2 minutes or so left in this football game. And guys, we talk about that stat line from before. When games are decided by 7 points or less, Godskills 4-2-1. And right now it's a 2-point lead for DK. Timeout
So
called.
we have a timeout called from DK.
Yeah, they're going to need the time to score if they're going to allow Godskills to put up some points here.
But the question is, does Rajdi Benaltiquer have the confidence in himself?
Very doubtful. Very doubtful. Ever since he threw the first pick, he's been very shaky. He's made every throw look hard.
Remarkable body expression from Rajdi Benaltiquer. First half, he was fist pumping, elated, and now he's just pacing back and forth, rubbing his hands on his forehead.
Sipping water from that Smirnoff bottle. He's just a mess.
He's a mess.
A minute and change left in this second half. Clock underway. Up by 2's DK. Looking to hold serve. Chantomo surveys. He is sacked.
I don't
Big
know how many
play.
times he thinks Alex is going to miss that sack.
Yep.
Alex Pilon gets a big sack, now furthering the distance from the end zone for Godskills.
We're a little bit too high up to know what was said, but Alex Pilon definitely had some words for Nick Chantomo after that sack as well. And he's definitely going to get under that skin if Chantomo allows him.
Chantomo has that Philip Rivers-like attitude. Doesn't care who he's facing, he will trash talk you until the end of the football game.
Oh, he's a bulldog. He's definitely not a chihuahua. Don't take his size for don't take his size for granted.
Timeout called, and
That is the last timeout for DK.
again, 5 plays now. So here we are, 5 plays. And with this still being a potential first down here, they could prolong this drive by a couple more plays for God Skills. And you wonder, guys, if DK's defense is fatiguing late in this football game. As you made the point before.
Yeah, we mentioned
Vince.
it earlier that it might be the case, but I feel like at this point you're not allowing anything to make to allow you to step down from your 100%.
5 plays left.
Tight or not, you're going all in.
Someone is 5 plays away from hoisting that Div 1 title. Is it God Skills or DK? Base formation. Santomo about 7 yards away from JC Mercil for the snap. Here he is, rolling to his left. Looking, going silence, caught. Upfield, Drapeau brought down by Chenard. And that'll be about an 8-yard gain with 4 plays left.
All DK need here is a turnover to seal the deal. However, that's going to be a lot easier said than done considering the sort of resurgence we're seeing from God Skills here, especially in the second half.
Is this 4th down? I believe it is a fourth
fourth.
down. For the game.
Watch for that same play as they've been going to with that post, that really, really fat post from the outside guy. Deschamps caught it a couple times. You might find Provencher do the same here.
They could prolong this by a first down. They could get that. Here is Santomo. Looking to etch his name in history in Div 1 hierarchy. The snap.
Looks like we've got a wheel
The
here.
release. Corlienzo. Mercil. Incomplete. Out of bounds.
Just on that line, and that's a heartbreaker right there.
If J.C. Mercil had size 5 feet, that would have been a touchdown.
He did the best he could with the throw that was put there. If that's Chantomo all the way, he missed that throw because JC was wide open in the back of the end zone.
We'll get the replay right now and that is it. On the anniversary of Kurt Cobain's death, DK is in Nirvana winning the 2016 D1 title.
How far did you have to go to pull that reference, Mo?
Not really. It was on MTV this week.
You have time to watch MTV?
Here it is, guys.
You don't have time to make scripts, but you watch MTV.
Toward the end zone, and you can see the blue shadow underneath Mercil's feet. And right there
Is where the dreams are crushed.
a great way to end off that line.
That was a perfect call, though. He was there. He just missed the throw. Good for them for trying to get in the end zone.
Can't disagree at all with that call. A great judgment by Steve Hodhod. And now we go back to live action. And the relief off of Rashid Ben Abdelkader's shoulders, one of the most decorated players in FPF history, wins the quarterback title.
Before it's presented, do we sort of do we all agree that the finals MVP is going to Alex Pilon with the
Without a doubt, that sack put them in a different situation, and now
as well as those touchdowns early on that we sort of forget about because of how much time happened between that 20-0 and that crawl back. We forget that early on, Alex Pilon really did a number on the Godskills defense.
and in the far end of the end zone, you can see the dejected look on Godskills, knowing how close they were from shaking up the Div 1 history of what could have been a Div 1 title for them.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think they have any reason to be down on themselves. It's their first season in Division 1. Just the fact that they got to the finals is huge for them. They'll be back, and they'll be back stronger. They'll probably make a couple of additions to the team or make sure their guys come to their games, either or.
And now
And they're
President
announcing
Robert
Rob taking a
Campani.
lot of time right there.
And rightfully so,
Serge.
they gave the Serge Pilon Jr.
I think Rob might have confused the two Pilons.
He may have. He may have. Guys, your thoughts on this football game? First half, it was 20-0 lead for DK, and then next you know, Godskills goes on a 25-7 run, but couldn't get that last touchdown attempt to go in for them.
There's nothing more you can ask for than a 2-point Division 1 finals. I think that the fact that this was so out of reach for Godskills and then they managed to bring it back to so close, it was an exciting game from start
It was
to
a great
finish.
game. At least Godskills made it a game. It was 20-0 at one point. I don't know if you remember that. It was 20-0, and they made it a 27-25 game. So they started off real soft, and it kind of hurt them in the end.
GM, you made a great point. This was earlier tonight saying Div 1 was probably the best season of parity here. How much do we have to look forward to now for future Div 1 winter seasons and what could be a very fascinating drama that could unfold with many years to come with these younger teams coming up now and making their noise in Div 1?
Well, we've set the precedent right now, especially with this season, that Div 1 will always be up for grabs. we've seen the dominance of the finest. We've seen dominance of dynasties, so Hurricanes before them and Young Guns before them. But there will be that team that sort of comes up and shakes the tide and sets a new record.
Vince, final thoughts?
I'm happy for DK. You know what? Good for them for sticking to it and coming up big here.
And for the likes of Pat Chenard, who won a Div 1 title as a quarterback with Express 6 years ago, he wins another championship. Matt Bond, who has yet to enjoy D1 supremacy, wins a title. A fantastic ending for DK as they win by 2. And for JC Marcel.
Oh, I remember this.
And right now, the other Pilon can't do as many as the other Pilon does. For
They
Did
both
you
could
just
do way.
refer to them both as the other Pilon?
yes,
That's fantastic.
but right now for JC
Classic Mo here.
For JC Marcel, it's going to be a long night to think about what if had he got his both feet into the end zone for that touchdown.
Look, as a receiver, there's not a lot you can do when the ball is placed a certain way. JC was there, did the best he could to sort of corral that in and stay in bounds. And I guess he had a choice between catching the ball and landing in bounds.
Yeah, he made an incredible catch, and he did the best he could to get his feet in bounds. And that he'll probably, if the ball is placed properly, like 10 out of 10, he'll get his feet in bounds. Except it was a little bit too far.
On behalf of Vince, GM, the entire staff, for what a fantastic Div 1 season it was from start to finish here. The so-called strong powers were taken down in the conference finals by the upstart DK and God Scales. It is going to be fascinating to see how this plays out for the years to come here. A big thank you to Alex Dakla on a job well done. Rob Capan for allowing us to do what we do here to provide the replays and the analysis from both of you gentlemen. Great job by you, Vince, and by you, GM. And on behalf of the entire staff, we're going to wish everyone a happy ending to this game here, which it was, and we'll see you guys for spring season. And we'll look forward to bringing you Div A, B, C, D, and E, and be back here in about 4.5 months' time from now for the spring season conclusion. Good night. Congrats to DK on the 2016 D1 title accomplishment.